Okay, imagine this. You're working out, really pushing it, you feel that burn, right? But then suddenly your breathing feels, I don't know, just wrong.
Or the opposite happens. You find a rhythm and it all just clicks.
Exactly. And how often do we actually stop and think about breathing? You know, that thing we do thousands of times a day without even noticing. Could that actually be the key, the thing that unlocks better performance?
Well, that's what we're diving into today.
Yeah, today we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating world of breathing dynamics. Our mission really is to show you how getting your breath right isn't just about, feeling a bit better.
It can genuinely revolutionize your workouts
Mm-hmm.
and even just how comfortable you feel day to day.
And we're going to use a specific example to make this really clear: IsoTone training. It illustrates these principles perfectly and makes them very concrete.
And these insights, they come directly from some pretty meticulous research by Dr. Lev Nemotin. He actually designed IsoTone and has studied these breathing dynamics extensively.
So, our goal for you today, it's basically a shortcut. We want you to be well-informed to really get the science behind breathing and exercise.
We'll unpack it, point out some surprising things.
Yeah, things you might never have thought about. And crucially, give you practical strategies, whether you're, a serious athlete or just someone who likes to stay active.
Or even just curious about how your body works best. It's relevant for everyone.
Okay, so where do we start? The basics.
Right. We often just take breathing for granted, don't we? But it's this incredibly finely tuned process. Absolutely critical.
For getting oxygen in, obviously?
Yes, getting enough oxygen in for energy, but just as importantly, getting carbon dioxide out efficiently. That's the waste product.
Okay, so it's a balance.
A very precise balance. And here's the interesting part. It's inherently asymmetric. It's not even.
Wait, symmetric. How so? Even when we're just like, sitting here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Even at rest. Think about it. Taking a breath in, that requires muscle effort. It's active. But breathing out, mostly it's just relaxation. Passive. And usually that exhale is a little bit longer than the inhale. Your body naturally leans that way.
Huh. So not 50-50, even normally. But what about when we start exercising? That must change things.
Oh, absolutely. It becomes much more pronounced then. During exercise, both inhaling and exhaling become active jobs. They need muscle power.
Right, because you need more air faster.
Exactly. To fuel those working muscles, your inhale needs to be quicker, more forceful. Get that oxygen in fast.
Makes sense.
But the exhale, that actually becomes slower, more prolonged. You need that extra time to properly clear out the carbon dioxide, stop it building up.
Ah, okay. So you need a quick in and a slower out?
Precisely. And if you connect that to something rhythmic, like the IsoTone training we mentioned.
Right, the squeeze and expand.
Yeah, that natural rhythm means a fast, strong inhale fits perfectly with the squeeze, the contraction.
And the slower, longer exhale.
Naturally aligns with the expansion, the relaxation phase. Timing it like this really maximizes your oxygen intake right when you need it, and crucially, make sure you're clearing out that CO2 effectively.
That distinction is really helpful. It's not just breathe harder, it's about how you breathe in and out. It's like a dance, synchronized.
Exactly.
But this brings up something important. We always focus on oxygen, right? Like, I need more oxygen. But what if that gasping feeling, that real discomfort, isn't actually about needing oxygen?
That's a really sharp question, and it hits on a key insight from Dr. Nemotin's work. Oxygen is vital, no question.
Of course.
But that immediate, sometimes overwhelming discomfort you feel when you're breathing hard, that's mostly driven by an imbalance in your carbon dioxide levels.
Really? Not oxygen?
Not primarily, no. It surprises a lot of people. But the science points firmly towards CO2.
Wow. Okay. So how does that work, this CO2 imbalance?
Well, there are basically two ways it can go wrong, and both really mess with your performance and comfort. Let's use the standard terms so you know what they are. First, there's hypercapnia. That's when your carbon dioxide levels get too high.
Hyper, like too much.
Exactly, too much CO2. And when that happens, you get this really urgent, unpleasant feeling. People call it breath hunger. Restlessness, too.
Breath hunger. I think I know that feeling.
It tends to come on a bit slower than the opposite problem, but the discomfort just keeps building. It doesn't let up.
How quickly are we talking?
You can feel mild symptoms, maybe just that initial restlessness, within about 2 minutes of, say, consistently under-exhaling. In IsoTone terms, that's maybe 90 cycles or so.
Okay.
But if it keeps going, 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 225 to 450 cycles, then you're looking at headaches. That breath hunger gets way more intense, maybe even confusion. The graph for hypercapnia discomfort just goes up and up. relentlessly.
Okay, so that's holding on to too much CO2, not exhaling enough, like a pressure cooker, you said.
Yeah, slowly building pressure. But what about the flip side? What if you breathe out too much?
Is that even a thing? Breathing out too much?
Oh, absolutely. And that leads us to hypocapnia. That's when your CO2 levels drop too low.
Hypo, meaning too little.
Right. And this one can be surprisingly nasty. It causes very different symptoms, often much faster.
Like what?
Dizziness, maybe tingling in your fingers or lips, sometimes even fainting.
Fainting, just from breathing wrong.
Yes. And here's the really weird part. This can happen even when you have plenty of oxygen in your blood.
Wait, what? How does that work? If you have oxygen, why would you faint?
It's because of something called the Bohr effect. Basically, when you blow off too much CO2 really quickly, it changes your blood chemistry. Your blood pH goes up, becomes more alkaline, alkalosis.
Okay.
And that change makes your red blood cells hold on to oxygen much more tightly. They essentially lock it up.
So the oxygen is there, but it can't get out to the tissues.
Exactly. Even though your blood is oxygenated, your muscles and brain aren't getting it effectively. So you feel dizzy, you might faint. It's a paradox.
That's wild. So how fast does it happen?
With hypocapnia, the discomfort hits fast and sharp. Tingling and dizziness can show up within just 1 to 3 minutes, maybe 45 to 135 IsoTone cycles, and fainting. That's possible around the 5-minute mark, so 225 cycles or so. The discomfort curve spikes really steeply, then might plateau, often because you've fainted.
Wow. Okay, so one is a slow, steady climb of misery from too much CO2. The other is a fast, sharp spike from too little, which weirdly starves you of oxygen anyway.
Precisely. Both are really bad for your workout, obviously, but in very different ways.
Given these two unpleasant options, what's the mistake people usually make? Can you tell which way you're leaning?
Yeah, good question. The common errors often come from, well, not thinking about it, either unconsciously holding your breath a bit during the hard parts that leads to hypercapnia, the CO2 buildup.
Right.
Or maybe more commonly, people try to consciously take huge rapid breath thinking they need more air, and they end up over-breathing, blowing off too much CO2. That's hypocapnia.
Okay. And the feeling tells you which is which?
Generally, yes. If you feel that building, urgent, I need to gasp, feeling maybe a headache coming on, probably too much CO2 hypercapnia.
Got it.
If you feel lightheaded, dizzy, maybe tingly fingers or lips, you've likely overdone the exhaling hypocapnia.
And the fix?
It comes right back to what we started with, respecting that natural asymmetry.
Yeah.
Shorter, quicker inhales, longer, slower exhales. That simple rhythm is your best bet for keeping that oxygen-CO2 balance stable.
Understanding why the CO2 balance is just so crucial, it really changes how you think about breathing, doesn't it?
It does.
But the big question for you listening is, okay, how do we actually put this into practice? How do we do it right? We said we'd use IsoTone training as a model, right? Because Dr. Namotin analyzed it closely, and it's got that clear rhythm. So picture a tough IsoTone session, like 45 cycles a minute, putting out maybe 8 watts, which is a decent effort, moderate to strenuous.
Exactly. So for IsoTone, the main strategy is simple. Sync your breathing right up with that rhythm.
Yeah.
And consciously follow the natural asymmetry we've been talking about.
So it's not just breathing while you exercise, it's making the breath part of the exercise.
Perfectly put. It's harmonizing breath and movement. We can break it down phase by phase, just like a workout.
Okay, let's do it. Warm up first.
Right, warm-up phase. Goal here is gentle ramp up, get oxygen uptake and CO2 clearance going, but don't shock the system.
So slow breathing.
A good rhythm is about 1 breath every 3 isotone cycles. That works out to maybe 15 breaths a minute. And how you breathe matters. Inhale during the squeeze is strong, but not like forced. Quicker, shorter.
Inhale and squeeze. Okay.
And the exhale during the expansion is gentle, complete, longer and steadier. This pattern stops you hyperventilating too early and gets your respiratory system ready.
That makes sense. A thoughtful start, not just jumping in gasping. So many of us probably just start breathing hard straight away.
It's common. But easing in is better.
Okay, so after the warm-up, we hit the main part, that strenuous, steady-state phase. What happens then?
Right now, your body needs more. Metabolic demand is up. So your breathing has to step up too, but stay controlled.
Faster rhythm.
Yeah, shift to 1 breath every 2 isotone cycles. So about 22 breaths per minute now. And really emphasize the pattern. Each squeeze gets a rapid, powerful inhale. Pull that oxygen in.
Okay, strong inhale on the squeeze.
And each expansion gets a deliberately prolonged exhale. Really focus on breathing out fully. This maximizes oxygen delivery when demand peaks, clears that CO2 effectively, and helps you stay stable and comfortable even when you're working hard.
So quick in on the effort, long out on the release, really leaning into that asymmetry.
That's the key. You're actively managing ventilation to match the load.
Got it. And then cooling down, how do we ease out of that intensity?
Good transition. For the cool down and relaxation phase, the goals change. We want to help circulation, lower the heart rate, clear out any leftover metabolic stuff, and just generally promote relaxation.
So slow the breathing way down.
Exactly. Back off to maybe 1 breath every 4 IsoTone cycles. That's around 12 breaths per minute, close to a resting rate.
And the pattern? Still asymmetrical?
Still asymmetrical, but different feel. The inhale is still diaphragmatic from the belly, but much more relaxed now. And the exhale becomes even more extended. Really focus on letting it go slowly. Calming.
Ah, so the long exhale helps you relax.
Definitely. It helps activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest side.
Mm.
So the exhale here is as much about calming down as it is about ventilation. Again, using that natural bias for a longer exhale.
This is super detailed, really practical. But I'm thinking for you listening, trying to count 1 breath per 3 cycles, now 1 per 2 in the middle of a workout. That sounds kind of stressful.
Yes, it absolutely could be. And you don't need to get bogged down in the numbers.
Is there a simpler cue, more intuitive?
For sure. Forget the exact counts. The feeling and the basic rhythm are what matter most. Just focus on quick inhale on squeeze, slower exhale on expand.
Quick in, slow out.
Or even simpler. In on squeeze, out on expand. That's it. That intuitive pairing matches your physiology perfectly. It's easy to remember, easy to apply.
So feel the rhythm rather than count it.
Exactly. Let your body guide you. This works whether you're using IsoTone or doing, kettlebell swings, rowing, anything rhythmic. In on effort, slow out on recovery.
Okay, let's try and wrap this all up then. Let's summarize the key takeaways for you. What we've really learned today is that breathing, it's not an afterthought.
Not at all. It's absolutely central to your performance, your comfort, everything.
And timing it right, that rapid inhale on the squeeze or effort, and the longer exhale on the expand or relaxation, that's the key to keeping that oxygen and carbon dioxide balance just right.
Mm-hmm. And if you think about those phases, the 3.2.4 cycle ratios we talked about, warm up, steady state, cool down, following that kind of pattern is really going to help reduce discomfort and keep your energy up through the whole workout.
And it all circles back to that core idea, the natural asymmetry. Your body wants to inhale faster and exhale slower. So working with that makes the whole strategy effective and actually pretty easy to follow once you get the feel for it.
Absolutely. And while IsoTone is a great model for seeing this clearly, these principles, they apply way beyond that.
Right. This isn't just for IsoTone users.
No, not at all. Fitness, sports, physical therapy, even just your daily walk or jog. Understanding and using this optimized breathing can help you perform better, feel less discomfort, and just get more out of whatever training you do. It enhances the benefits for you.
So as we finish up this deep dive, here's something for you to maybe think about later. We've just looked closely at breathing, something usually unconscious. How many other things that our bodies just do might hold similar secrets?
Interesting thought.
Secrets to better performance, better well-being. If we just took a moment to understand their natural rhythms, like we did with breathing today.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It really does. Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the hidden power of your breath.
Hope you found it useful.
Yeah, we hope you feel well-informed and maybe ready to breathe your way to some better workouts.